What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. And see, I done made a video like this before, right? And I've talked about fathers having this tendency to try to show out for social media and try to prove that they're this upstanding and protective father by threatening young men that their daughters are choosing to date, right? And I mean like young boys, little boys, threatening them with guns and talking all type of hostile to them and using all type of profanities and so on and so forth, vulgarities when they talking to the young man when it's not warranted. I promise y'all, one day you men gonna do this, you're gonna end up getting yourself hurt or even worse, right? Because the temerity, the unmitigated gall for a man to try to threaten another person's son, you are out of your fucking mind. Now, I say this because a woman, she posted, she shared a picture she shared a post from the father of a young girl that her son asked to a homecoming dance, right? And so she was talking about how wrong it was for this father to say this, that, and the third, and how disrespectful and it was, and all this and all of that, and it was. But I'm going to tell you what the father of the young lady that her son asked out. Let me tell you what the father said, right? The father posted a picture of his daughter and the young man, and he also put a caption that said, "This little niglet asked my daughter to the homecoming dance. Get a good look at him. This might be the last time you see him if shit go left." You feel me? Nah, I don't feel you. This might be the last time we see that young man if shit go left. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Like, I don't know where these fathers get this from. It's like you have to have a certain amount of arrogance and a certain amount of narcissism to believe that you can threaten another person's son and think there's not going to be any pushback from it, right? You're disrespecting not only that young man, but that young man's family because you basically saying they ain't gonna do shit about nothing that I'm saying. Fuck them. You know what I mean? And I think that's just absolutely absurd and it's crazy. And I'm cursing because I am the father of a young man, a young itty bitty boy, right? But someday he's gonna grow up to be a young man. He's gonna date young women and so on and so forth. And I'll be damned if I let something like this happen to my son, because I see this way too often. Fathers threatening their daughter's date, their daughter's prom date with guns and stuff like that, and they think that stuff is cool, right? And I'm gonna say this, you know, while y'all trying to protect y'all daughters, some of y'all daughters out here really horrible people, right? You think it's somebody out to get your daughter, and your daughter is out here shiesty. She's conniving. She's very, very manipulative, so on and so forth. And you're raising terrible, terrible, heinous young women. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to speak disparaging about that young lady because she doesn't seem to be that. And it's just some fathers try to be they think being overbearing and over the top is like a sign of them being a protective dad. And they think that gets them kudos and pats on the back and high five and good job, dad, from people on social media. And I'm telling you right now, fathers that do this, they think they're gonna be threatening another man's child, another man's son. You're gonna get yourself hurt. Because I can only imagine if somebody said this about my son. He said this little niglet, talking as if he like the KKK. Brother, what the fuck what is wrong with you? You're a black man calling another man's son a little niglet, another woman's son, another black woman's son, another black man's son, a little niglet? For real, so what is your daughter? Right? This is mind-boggling to me that people think stuff like this is acceptable. And I think the father has since deleted his page because the mother shared the post. The mother of the young man shared the post and was like, my son it's not warranted to her son. That type of actions and behaviors, her son don't even look like that type of individual. And I know that looks can be deceiving, but that boy don't look like he would do anything like that crazy to that young lady. And the young lady looks like she's a nice young lady. They look like they some nice little kids. But the father feels the need to try to come across as this big overprotecting, I'll protect you, daughter. I'll talk about this young man and I'll threaten him and call him all type of names. And this might be the last time you see my son, that we see our son if stuff go left. Who you talking to, fam? You can't think some shit like that gonna fly, because there's no way on God's green earth you think I'm gonna let you threaten my son and think everything is cool. But again, shit like this have been going on so much, and people make it seem like it's cute for dads to act like this, that they keep it going and going and going and going. But I promise you, the day somebody says something like that about my son, I'm willing to give that father everything he want, and even more. I'm talking about, I give you everything you can handle, even more. I'm willing to go wherever you want to go with it. if you talking crazy like that about my son. It's like now that is just that's despicable. That's crazy. You know, for you to talk like that about another black couple's child. You know what I'm saying? A black man and woman's child. You talking crazy, this little niglet, and something might end up happening to him if stuff don't go right. First of all, I say this, man. I raise my children with respect. I raise them to be mannerable individuals. I raise them to be individuals who stand on respect and push respect and treat people the way they want to be treated. The golden rule, right? It might sound cliche, but that's how I was raised. So I'm not going to have my son is not going to be the type to be out here wilding and acting ignorant if I got anything to do with it, and his mother as well. We're not going to raise my son like that, right? But at the same time, it's like, hold on, fam. You know, it's certain stuff that should never be said. Certain things that should never be spewed out of a person's mouth or even typed about another person's child when it's not even warranted. Right? This young man ain't did nothing to your daughter. You just want to seem impressive and get kudos and pats on the back from the other women that's out here so you can look like, oh, you're a great dad. You're just because some women fawn and some women, some men applaud that type of shit. Some men, yeah, I'm riding with you too. I'm riding with you. If we got to do something to the boy, I'm riding with you. You can call me. I got my guns ready. I would never want my friends to say nothing like that about I got a daughter. When the day my daughter gets older and starts dating, I wouldn't want my friends to threaten her date with guns. I would, because I'm cognizant of the fact that this is somebody's child. This is somebody's son. I wouldn't want somebody talking to my son like this. And I'm not going to threaten nobody's child. You know what I'm saying? When they ain't did nothing to my daughter, they just simply trying to have go on a date and enjoy their time as young folks. And you got some grown-ass, immature-ass man trying to come across as if he just super dad and dad of the year, threatening a young man for no damn reason. Right? This type of stuff like this would get people ass whooped and all of that. Might get them slapped. For that. You know, that's the most disrespectful thing you can do to a man is slap him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, stuff like that. And people think stuff like that is cute. Y'all better cut this shit out, man. I'm telling you, there's some fathers out here that's willing to give you anything you can handle and then some. And I've never been a tough individual to try to be super hard. I've never been hard. I just always been me and into my books and doing my thing. But I promise y'all, about my children, I'm willing to go wherever place they need to go. You know what I'm saying? And I see stuff like this and I get triggered because I know that I'm raising a young man. And at some point in his life, he's going to get older. He's going to date young women and all that type of stuff. And if I raise him to be a mannerable, respectful young man who treats people the way he wants to be treated, I don't want nobody talking to my son or talking about my son like this in that manner, trying to threaten him and shit. Like, what? Are you crazy? And I'm thinking he had to feel like, oh, is no dad around. And even if it's not no dad around, shoot, that boy probably got uncles and all that and people that love and care about him. His mother gonna check it, but you know, sometimes men don't take threats serious coming from another woman. So yeah, he got uncles and people that probably love him, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, stepfather or whatever, even if it's, you know, and of course his father could be actively in the picture, but I'm saying, for a man to feel that comfortable threatening a young boy, like, you gotta just assume like, oh, I can just do this and you get away with it scot-free. Because I promise you, if somebody said like that, something like this about me as a young boy, my father checking the shit out of them. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a problem. You know, because this never should be anything that's acceptable. Talking about a young man as if he's just a scum at the bottom of your shoe, like he ain't worth nothing, and he just somebody something to throw away and something to treat heinously. If your daughter isn't pleased with the day, well, get the fuck out of here, bro. For real. If stuff go left, this might be the last. Take a good look at who you talking to, bro. If something go left with my son, it'll be the last time they see you, brother. Don't play like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and I ain't even into, because that's what some parents will be provoked to say. And I'm not no person to do nothing. I'm not no tough guy or nobody to try to do nothing to nobody or just all of that. But it's just like about my children, that's a trigger for me. I am the ultimate protector of them. So when I see stuff like this, I'm like, man, just imagine my son being in that situation. I'm like, fam, like, I couldn't, there's no way I could ever be calm. Like when I see something like that, I'm like, for this dude, like this is the way he gonna get across that he loves his daughter and he protect her. That's not the way to do it. Because at that point, you're threatening that young man, you're disrespecting that young man and his family because you're saying I can talk however I want to talk about this young man. I could talk about him like he ain't nothing and his family ain't gonna do a damn thing, a goddamn thing. That means you poking your chest out and saying that, man. There's no honor in that, And that man needs to be reprimanded for that because that's foul. Peace.